What's going on, y'all, and welcome to Derek Andre TV. I am Derek Andre, and do black people adopt white children? Let's talk about it on Totally Disgusted. This is Totally Disgusted with your host, Derek Andre. All right, y'all. We are back. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So today, on Totally Disgusted, I'd like to talk about or ask the question, do black people adopt white children? Do black people adopt white children? Excuse me just a second, y'all. I'm getting choked up here. I don't know if it's about the topic or is it from them butter cookies I just ate. Hold on. But do black people adopt white children? So first of all, I don't think black people are that into adoption in the first place. All right. We're going to start with that. We're going to start with that. I don't think black people are that big into adoption in the first place. I believe that black people have the uncanny knack to make all the babies that they want. I don't think they have issues with producing children. Statistically, see if I can pull them up. Statistically, it says that, let's switch over here. Statistically, it says that black people only adopt children. Oh, wait a minute. Adopted children. Hold on. I had that wrong. Hold on. That's not the information I was looking for. But this says race and ethnicity of adopted children. It says 25% children are black, 50% white, 13% Asian, 13% Hispanic, 8% other, and 4% Asian. So I was trying to find the statistics on the adopting parents. It shows their age. These are the adopted. This is the average, median household income, their educational level, blah, average age is about 44, which is about right. But I couldn't really, let me see, is this what I'm looking for? 37%. I don't even know what this is. About adopted children. That's male, so 49% male get adopted, 51% female. So, they're about half and half on the, 23%. We already addressed that. So, I don't think, just as a whole, that black people are big on adoption anyway. I'm not saying that we don't adopt children. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that black people do not adopt children. But what I'm saying is we don't always rush to adoption as a first. Now, we'll foster care the heck out of some kids, man. Black folks will foster care children like you wouldn't believe. There's a whole lot of black people that I've known over the years that foster children. They open their house up as foster parents. But I don't know a whole lot of black people that rushed out to adopt children. I just don't. You know what I mean? And I just don't see the ones that do to adopt children running out to adopt white children. And I don't think it's because black parents would have a hard time getting approved for the adoption or raising the children. I think black parents probably don't adopt white children because we live in a society where they would constantly be bombarded with ignorant questions about why they have these children. I did see a video a while back. I tried to find it before I produced this episode about a black woman who had actually adopted a little white boy. Everywhere they went, they were always getting questioned about is he okay? Is he yours? How did you end up with him? Where did he come from? Are you his mother? Are you everywhere they would go, somebody will always be asking them something about their baby. So I don't think black people would adopt white children that quick. I'm not saying that I just don't see it. I see us adopting children maybe of other ethnic groups, maybe Asian children, maybe Hispanic children, maybe Indian children if Indian children ever come up for adoption. Definitely other black children. But I don't think black people are in a hurry to adopt white children. Now, if a black family does adopt a white child, that's going to be the dopest upbringing ever because, black people, we dope, y'all. I mean, there ain't no two ways about it. We dance, we can cook, they ain't going to be able to go to no average cookout that we ain't hosting because the food ain't going to hit the same, man. But I just don't think that that's a thing. I know some people from my youth that were adopted, but they had black parents. Now, white folks will adopt black babies just all willy-nilly. I know a whole lot of white folks. When I lived in Mississippi, man, white folks had black kids all over the place, man. They were always, and I actually had a guy who was a friend of mine back in the day when I lived in Mississippi, and he and his wife had just adopted a little African American kid, little black guy. I forgot I think his name was Zach. I think his name is Zach. And we were talking. I was filming him for one of my web series, 10 Square, and he was like, D, can I ask you a question? I was like, yeah. He was like, so we're about to adopt a little African American boy. I said, yeah, I know. We talked about it. He said, can you give me some pointers? What should I do or what should I not do? And so I told him, I said, listen, man. I said, if you are going to adopt an African American little boy in Mississippi, you are going to have to explain to him that no matter how many places y'all go together, no matter how many of your cousins or whatever choose to accept him, that no matter how many private schools you can send him to, that no matter what, you have to explain to him that he is African American in America. That's what you have to make him understand. That regardless of how he's treated at home, the world is not going to treat him the same. He was a handsome little young dude, man. Little dark-skinned kid, man. Had pretty little dark skin, man. You gonna have to tell him, when he go out into the world, no matter how much love y'all pour on him and into him at home, when he goes out into the world, it's gonna be different. And he needs to understand that. He needs to understand that. And so I think when black people look at adoption, black people look at adopting a child that they're going to have the least amount of resistance with. Because raising a child is already a challenge within itself, okay? That's already, raising your own kids is hard. But raising somebody else's child and you're not 100% sure about the lineage and their background and if their parents were chemically dependent on anything, you don't know. So when black people adopt a kid, black people are looking for the path of least resistance. And so the last thing I think black people want when they are adopting a child that they already don't know a whole lot about is adopting a child that is white in a country that is just starkly divided by race. That just adds an unnecessary element to raising that child. Just an unnecessary element. When you raising your own kids, man, if you're gonna adopt a kid and you adopt a black kid, you can adopt a black kid and you're a black person. You can adopt that child, man, and you can teach that child firsthand about what it means to be black in America and in the world. You can't teach a white child about privilege. Because when they go out into the world, the world may not know that they got black parents at home. 9 times out of 10, if they see the black parent and the white child out in public, they're pretty much going to assume that you probably the nanny, or the caretaker. That's pretty much what the assumption would probably be if you adopt a white child and y'all out in the mall, or you picking the kid up from school or whatever, and they ain't 100% sure. They see a black face coming to pick up this white child. First of all, you might be hard pressed to even get your child until they figure out that you are actually the parent. Because I'm pretty sure prior to that they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna need to see some proof that you're actually, little Tyreek, because we're gonna probably change the baby's name to Tyreek or something. Little Tyreek's mom or dad. You don't have to go through that when you adopt a black child, man. They're not gonna ask no questions if you come to show up with a Hispanic child and you black. They're not gonna ask no questions if you show up with a little Asian child and you black. But if you are black and you go through adopting a white child, you just add it. It's like dating. Relationships are hard enough as it is. They really are. Relationships are hard, man. You can date somebody in the same ethnic group that you're in, and relationships are just work. You gotta put in the work to make the relationship happen. It's a job. Relationships are straight up jobs. You gotta really, if you care about this person, you care about making the relationship work, you're gonna have to put in the effort and the energy. That's by itself. When you get involved with somebody of another ethnic group, that just adds a level of difficulty to that relationship in some cases And you know which cases I'm talking about. When it's black and white, that just adds a level of difficulty. Even in 2025, it adds a level of difficulty in that relationship that is unnecessary. It's just unnecessary. If you black and you're dating somebody white, there's going to be somebody on that white person's side that is a straight up bigot that just don't like black people. We accept just about anybody. Black folks accept people. We don't care where you from, what your background is. If you cool, we cool with you. So you can date a black person and you can be all right. But we don't always get that reciprocated. We don't get that in return. You know what I mean? As much as I would love to say, yeah, you know, we date somebody white, we don't have that problem with Hispanics. You know, we don't have that problem dating anybody that's Hispanic. We don't have that problem dating anybody that's Asian, anybody that, But with white folks, we gonna have some challenges, and that's just dating. So when you're trying to raise a kid, come on, man. I even wonder how much red tape as a black parent you would have to go through to even complete the adoption process. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me. Look at this image. Hold on. Look at this image right here. Let me show you. Let me pull this image up. Look at this image. You can't tell me that if this couple was walking through the mall with these two cute little white kids, that they would not get questioned, that they would not get stopped and asked questions about who they are and how did they get their hands on them children. You can't tell me that they would not be harassed from the moment they came in, wherever they go. If they go to church and that black family walking there with them two white kids, that black couple walking there with them two white kids at church. And even if it's an interracial church, it's not interracial church, but even if it's a mixed denomination, you know what I'm trying to say, they still gonna get some side eyes like, I wonder where they got them kids from. They must be babysitting this weekend. They must have some friends that are out of town. There's no way that, wow. Let me go ask them. Hey, hi. Hey, I was just wondering, the children, are they okay? Are you babysitting? What? Yeah. It would always be that. I can't imagine the number of times 911 would probably be called because they thinking that these kids have been kidnapped. Black folks ain't really trying to kidnap no kids either, man. Black folks do a lot of stuff, man. Black folks ain't trying to kidnapping a kid is work. It's work, man. Ain't the black folks don't be trying certain things that we just don't rush to do. Black folks ain't trying to really every now and then you'll hear about some kind of domestic dispute where, a dude or something will come over and, he'll take the baby and he'll go and he'll, trying to get away from the girlfriend. But just like to flat out like kidnap a baby, man, black folks ain't doing that, man. That ain't nothing that we do. We damn sure ain't gonna kidnap no white kids. But that just ain't gonna happen. We listen. Black folks look for the path of least resistance in every single thing that we do. And I just don't see adopting the adoption process. I don't see black folks rushing in looking at babies. I don't know how the adoption, I don't know if there's a little book. I don't know how the adoption process works, but I just don't see black people rushing in to adopt little white kids. I don't see it. Now, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, then put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Let me know if you know of anybody that's black that straight up went to the adoption agency and brought home a little blonde hair, blue-eyed baby, little red-head baby, little brown-haired baby, white baby. Just let me know in the comments if you know of any black people. Personally, I don't want no stories that you read about. I'm talking about personally. If you know of any black people that have adopted white kids, let me know. I've only ever seen the one story. I pulled up YouTube. And I just kind of looked to see what I could find. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. What I could find on YouTube. Let me pull up the browser here. And I did see, hold on, y'all. I accidentally, this mouse sensitive, I accidentally opened up Final Cut. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Let me quit Final Cut so I get back to my screen here before I pull it up. Let me slide me down, son. All right, here we go. So, let me transition this over. Hold on. Let me slide this over. So I pulled up YouTube and I looked, and there's a few, like this one over here, right here in the corner. She say, she got questioned about her sons. Yeah. Are you their nanny? No. Are they really your sons? Yes. Did you adopt them? No. Is your husband white? No. I don't know. But how she get them then? See? Even I'm questioning it. Look, this one even say no black person adopts white kids. Now here she comes. She get ready to show you that now, I'm not saying that it don't happen. Look at the little family down here. Tennessee Foster decides to adopt during COVID. How many kids did they adopt? I see a little white kid in the mix. I'm not saying that it don't happen. I'm not. What I am saying is, it don't happen often. But look, this happened a lot, man, right here. You see this couple right here? Yeah, they'll adopt. But white folks will adopt kids from every other ethnic group, man. They ain't got no problem with it. White folks will adopt other races of children. They will. They just will. They'll do it. Black folks, not so much, man. We ain't trying to adopt other races of children. You doing good. You doing good to get us to adopt one of our own kids. But I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. I can't. I don't have no real life people that I could be like. Yeah, I know so and so. Yeah, that. I don't know. I don't know what y'all think, man. What y'all think? Let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know in the comments, man. Let me know what you think in the comments about black people adopting white children. I just don't. I don't think it's a thing, man. I don't think it's a thing. White folks, they go all overseas, man. They be adopting kids from all over the world, man. Different parts of, look at Angelina Jolie. They be gone all over the globe, man. They adopting kids that, there's a different ethnicity, man, and bring them on back to America and ruin them. You know what I mean? That just ain't nothing that we do, man. That just ain't nothing that we do. And I think we just don't adopt children because we don't have no problem with fertility. Black folks is fertile, man. Most melanated people are pretty fertile. So we don't have no problem making kids of our own, man. And we ain't gonna wait a whole long time to make them either. But white people, sometimes they have some challenges with fertility. The first time I ever started hearing about fertility drugs was not black folks. It was white people trying to have babies. The number of white people that I actually know that are my age or within my demographic that don't have children is kind of mind-boggling. I don't know too many black people that's my age that don't have no children or didn't never have any children. I know quite a few white people that just never had children. I worked with a lot of dudes, man. I'd be like, you ain't got no kids. I work with a dude right now. He about 5 or 6 years younger than me. I asked him about that. I said, man, you got kids? He's like, nah. I'm like, damn. So maybe having babies is the catalyst for them, or not being able to have babies is the catalyst for them, adopting so much. We don't have that problem. We don't have, if you and black folks, if a black man and a black woman walks past each other too close, she might get pregnant. They could be passing each other in the hallway and not know each other. She might miss her period. She look up, man, 6-7 weeks later, man, she's starting to get a little pudge, man, because she done bumped up against her brother. We fertile. We don't have to worry about, going down to the agency. We don't have to worry about all the in vitro fertilization and all. We don't have to always worry about that kind of stuff, man. Making babies for us is not a problem. I can't always say the same for my cousins, so maybe that's why, they adopt. And I haven't never really checked the statistics on this, but sometimes I feel like they have children that have more diseases, what's the genetic diseases that, is that the word I'm looking for? They have different physical issues when they born. We don't too much have that. We might have some kids or something that might have a little Down syndrome or something like that. They didn't mess around and figured out how to label our kids autistic and stuff like that. A lot of our kids don't always be autistic. I'm not saying autistic don't exist in the black community, because it does. But sometimes, they would label kids ADHD and with ADHD and all these other, things. And these kids just needed outlets, But, white folks, sometimes they have a hard time with procreation. They are down in numbers because they don't have babies like everybody else has babies. Look at India. India got so many gall darn dang ding ding dang babies and people. Look at China. Japan. Look at Africa. We melanated people, Latin America. We don't have no problems making no babies. So the attraction for adoption is just not really there. And the attraction for adopting children that are not of our ethnicity is an even smaller percentage. So yeah, I don't think too many black people adopt white children. I think if it wasn't for all the headaches that come along with it, I think that black people might be more inclined to consider it. But I just think that with the world that we live in, the way things go, I just don't see that, and I don't ever see it increasing. I just don't ever see. I think if black people get to a point where they not having babies, it's pretty much because they just don't want to have babies. It's generally not because they can't. And I'm not saying white folks can't make babies, because they can. Of course they can. I know that. But their numbers are always lower than our numbers. You know, we outproduce. Melanated people outproduce when it comes to babies. Now, I could get all, deep with it and start talking about, why, we got, Planned Parenthood and all of that stuff, while they trying to, with the whole, pro-choice, pro-life debate. I could get all into that, but I'm not. But a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're outnumbered and they feel that they're outnumbered. And to continue to exist, you kind of got to have a little bit of melanin in your skin, because you kind of need it, to exist under the sun and sunlight. So but that's a whole nother episode. So I ain't gonna get into that. But yeah, I just think black people are just not gonna be quick to adopt white children. I think they would do a great job raising any child that they were ever going to bring into their household or into our household. But I just don't see that ever becoming a thing. It's just not a trend. I just don't see that. Same like, how we are with pets. Black folks, yeah, we have our pets, but white people different with their pets, man. They allow their pets to do things that black folks just ain't gonna do, man. Black folks just ain't gonna let they pets just, run over the house. They ain't gonna let the cats walk all over the table. And, we just do things differently, man. We do things differently. That's just who we are. And adopting kids ain't no different. We just do things differently. We not gonna put ourselves through no unnecessary stress to try to raise a kid. We just not gonna do it. We don't want to deal with all the headaches and the backlash, all the questions, all the ignorance, because there's a lot of ignorance that will come behind, black people being out with a white kid. You know what I mean? It's too much of a headache. And I'm 1,000% sure that the majority of black people ain't trying to walk that walk when it comes to raising kids. We just ain't gonna do it. We just ain't gonna do it. That's just not something that we do. But anyway, y'all let me know in the comments, man. Y'all let me know in the comments if you know anybody, if you've ever experienced it. If it just let me know in the comments. I just need to know. Do black people adopt white children? Do they do it? If you know of any instances, personally, I done seen the handful of them on the internet, but if you know any instances personally, put it in the comments, man. Put it in the comments. Let me know. Do black people adopt white children? That's my show for today, y'all. That's my show for today. Do black people adopt white children? Let me know what y'all think. If you are new to the channel, I just want to say thank you for stopping by and checking out this episode of Totally Disgusted. If you want to see more of my videos, all you got to do is click that subscribe button and the reminder bell, and that way you never have to miss another video. If you give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment, it helps the algorithm recognize that my channel is legit, and it'll send more people my way so that I can grow this sucker in leaps and bounds. If you are a returning guest, thank you so much for stopping back by. You can also do the same thing since you're already subscribed and you already clicked that reminder bell. I just need you to give it a thumbs up and leave some comments and give it a share. That's all I need from you. If you would like to support the channel in other ways, you can most definitely visit my website, DerrickAndre.com. You can purchase t-shirts, books, all sorts of stuff, man. You can stream my music, all sorts of stuff, man. It's all on there. It's DerekAndre.com. All you got to do is just click that. And if you go to the homepage on my YouTube channel right here, you can just click visit site, because it lets you visit the website straight from here, man. If you want to support the site like that, support the channel like that, you can. There's also going to be t-shirts up underneath this video. You can purchase a t-shirt directly from here, man, to kind of help this channel grow. All right, dog. That's all I got. I hope y'all don't get offended by the video. This ain't nothing that's got to do with, with nothing. I ain't on no. I'm just stating the obvious, man. I'm just stating the obvious. It just ain't that many black people that adopt white children. But if you know of some, let me know. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. Remember, when you go out into the world today, be a light to somebody. Don't ruin their day because you're having a bad day. Be a light to somebody because you know that you will want somebody to be a light for you. All right. So I'm gonna hit y'all up with a little dab. Hit this outro, and then I'm gone. And I'll see y'all next Monday for the next episode of Totally Disgusted. I love y'all. Be peace, be love, be one. And I'll see you soon. All right. Peace.
As you can see, I am surrounded by boxes. Moving on up. I ain't in one. And you shouldn't put yourself in no doggone boxes neither. Right. You close yourself off from the world. You close yourself off from new experiences. You close yourself off from new understandings. You close yourself off from everything when you put yourself in a box. That's right. So be free, my friends. Be free. Little dab out. Ha ha! Now let's call 2 men in a truck. Yeah, my back hurt.
Thanks for tuning in to Totally Disgusted. Make sure to like, comment, and tell a friend.